Hi, this is Tom Hart. I'm the Vice President of Operations here at VictorOps.
My name is Nate Grieve. I'm an Operations Support Specialist.
This is our Tuesdays at 2 p.m. demo, 2 p.m. Mountain Time. We're here in Boulder, Colorado. So Nate and I are going to take some time and walk through the core features and functionality of the VictorOps platform. If you have any questions regarding the VictorOps service, you can always shoot us a note at support@victorops.com, and that'll get to Nate and I, and we can help you out, and we'll start the screen share now. Okay, you should be able to see the web UI, the VictorOps web UI client in front of you. Nate and I are going to demo the web UI today. It's just easier for us to walk through the full feature set of our platform using the interface. It should be noted that we also have a native iOS and Android client available as well, and it's reflective of the experience that you're going to have here in the demo today. So starting on the left-hand side of the screen is what we call our people pane, and that is a quick and easy way for you to see exactly who in your organization is on call for which particular team. So using Samantha as an example, you can see that the oak leaf indicates that she's currently on call for the highlighted team, which is engineering in this case. You can also drill into an individual's name, and that'll allow you to see contact information at a glance. You can send a private chat through the people pane as well. If you need to message to your colleague, you can do so through private chat. You can also take on call from your teammates here. So Nate and I use this all the time. My kids play a bunch of sports, and I'll shoot Nate an @ reference in the timeline, which will send him a push notification, and I'll say, hey, I'm heading into baseball for the next couple hours. Can you take on call? So Nate can jump into his Android client or iOS and quickly take on call for me, and then when I'm done, I can go ahead and take it back. Nate's typing in an example of a push notification that would go out to his device in this case. You can also do @ references in that primary timeline, which would send a similar push notification out to an entire team. Where we think that that's beneficial is if you're the person on call and you're in the midst of a firefight and you need immediate attention from more than just one other individual, you can @ reference an entire team or the entire organization for that matter, and blast out a push notification to pull people into the firefight. On that note, the entire design and intent of the VictorOps platform is focused on reducing time to resolution on incidents. We always make this joke on these demos. When I went on call, Nate was 9 years old. So I've been on call for 15 plus years, and most of the leadership team here at VictorOps has as well. And we've built the product around the pain that we experienced over those years and being on call and not having a centralized single pane of glass to conduct your infrastructure firefighting. So that's, again, the design and intent of the VictorOps platform is to allow full situational awareness through your organization in terms of your infrastructure and a fast, efficient means by which to collaborate and resolve issues.
Real quick, I just want to go through the life cycle of an incident just to kind of show off how the VictorOps platform goes about handling that. So I'm going to use our HUBot integration to send in a critical alert. And as you see, it's going to open up, it's going to show up in the timeline, and there's going to be information about who's being contacted. Over here on the right side, this is what we call our incident pane. So you can go down to individual incidents based on incidents for you or your team's incidents, and it will say right here, currently paging which teams and which users. From here, you can ACK it, and that will essentially stop paging or reroute. So if something comes in to you that is not necessarily something that you know how to deal with, you can send it off either kind of as a manual escalation or to just a team with more knowledge in that specific space. If we click in on this incident, you're going to get, again, the full payload of the alert that comes into our system, along with an incident timeline specific to just this incident. So if I was to put in a chat, here, it's automatically going to append the incident number so that whatever user you send an @mention to, or if you were to send an @mention to an entire team, they would know exactly what incident they're being called in to help out with. Again, when you ACK it, this is going to show up both in the main timeline and over here in the incident timeline.
Something I neglected to cover while we were in the people pane, and which is important to point out in terms of the collaborative focus of the VictorOps platform. You can see Lauren and the other individual underneath Lauren there have a vibrant green dot next to their name. What that means is they're not currently on call, but they're paying attention, meaning they're looking at their infrastructure either via the iOS or Android client or through their web UI. Why we think that's important is you then have, again, situational awareness of who in your organization is present and paying attention. It's particularly handy in weekends and off-hour situations when you're the individual on call and you might need somebody's help who's not actually on call. That we've found that happens a fair amount of times. So again, trying to introduce really the social media aspect into infrastructure monitoring and incident routing.
One last thing I want to touch on before we move into the administrative settings is maintenance mode. So if you know you're going to be having scheduled downtime, or there's a certain time of the day when a lot of alerts come in that you know are going to be coming in and you don't want to be waking people up about it, you can enter maintenance mode here. So just simply enter maintenance mode, and this is going to stop all pages being sent out to individuals. You're not going to lose any alerts, so all of the information that would be coming from your different systems is still going to show up in the timeline. So you don't lose any information, we don't drop anything, so you still have a overall idea of what's going on with your infrastructure. You're just not going to wake anyone up.
So that's a look at the primary user interface. Again, the same experience is reflective on our iOS and Android applications as well. From here, we're going to go into the administrative settings. As well as handling your incident routing and escalation, we also allow you full calendaring options for your on-call teams. So Nate's going to walk through some of the options that we have available from a scheduling perspective.
As you see, you can kind of scroll over your schedule here. This is going to be the rotation of the first individual on call. You can switch to a month view to kind of get a more distant view of when you will be on call next. You can also skip forward weeks at a time. And basically, I would say 90% of our customers have a 24/7 on-call schedule where someone's on for the whole week and then they hand it off on a Monday or a Wednesday. We do accommodate for more. So here you can see a four-country follow the sun rotation. Sliding over it, you'll see when the handoffs happen and who's on call for each different section. And then we can do a basic, this is a daytime, nighttime with a weekend schedule thrown in. If I click in here, this is essentially being a part of the team is being a part of this escalation policy here. So what we do is we start paging and then we go through these steps until the incident is acknowledged. So whatever incident gets routed to this team, we're going to take these steps. The initial step here is the DevOps rotation, which is again the daytime, nighttime with the weekend shift thrown in. And these are really easy to set up. If I was to edit this shift, you can see even our most complex custom shifts are pretty simple. You just give it a name, pick the time zone, select the days you want to have the shift occur, and then the time frame and how often the handoff occurs.
And with the scheduling options, what's nice is that normally it's a one-time process. So when you conduct a 14-day free trial with VictorOps, Nate and I are always available to assist in setting up your on-call rotations and your teams. Any of the administrative aspects of our application, the support organization here is always readily available and glad to help our customers out in terms of onboarding. And that's free of charge, and we're happy to do that during your free trial as well.
Just a brief overview of the escalation policy. Again, it's going to take these steps and the different options. First is you can use as many different steps within each one of these as you would like. And what you can do here is you can notify the user on a rotation, the previous or next user on the rotation. You can also notify an individual user. So here, as you see, after 15 minutes, we're notifying Bryce. So that's good if after, let's say a certain amount of time, you need to get a manager's attention. That you can automatically do that here. Another option would be to execute a policy for a different team. So if you need to go from tier 1 to tier 2 support or the other way around after a certain amount of time, that's something you can set up automatically here. And then you can also send an email for maybe someone who is outside of the system that may want to get this information to them without having to log into VictorOps, or you could execute a webhook. And our webhook payload has enough information in it that if you were to send it to an internal server, you'd be able to take some actions potentially on that incident before even waking anyone up. So those are the kind of the options you have here. Pretty simple, very easy to set up. And again, as Tom mentioned, if you would like, we can always go in on the administrative side and set some of this stuff up for you. The only thing that I didn't touch on, because it's actually on a different page, is routing. So in order to make sure the routing goes here, we'll just click this real quick. At the bottom of our integrations page, we can add routing. So if I was to add a rule and say DevOps 2, I can send that off to any team or as many teams as you would like. And that's pretty simple to do. Again, what this really is at the end of the REST endpoint that you'd be hitting, you include the string here. Pretty simple.
So Nate's in the integrations page. So as you can see on the right-hand side of the screen, there's some of the monitoring solutions that we're currently integrated with, have formal integrations with. There's also great information on the knowledge base in terms of the mechanics or plumbing of setting up each one of those monitoring solutions with the VictorOps platform. It's fairly straightforward, and again, the support organization here at VictorOps is always available to assist with any of the administrative aspects of our product. From here, I think we're going to jump over to reporting. So as you can see, we've got a number of different reports available, starting on the left with postmortems and then going across some of the key performance indicating reports that we have. We actually just introduced the incident frequency report a couple of weeks back on your far right, and that's a fairly handy report. It gives you a 30-day look back on the entity ID level, so you can see particular services within your infrastructure that may have, be creating undue noise, and you can do some fine-tuning with your monitoring solutions against those, or identify that indeed you have maybe a software or a hardware problem. We're going to concentrate specifically in terms of time today on the post-mortem report. So I'm going to drill in here, and we're just going to walk through what you can do here. So Nate's going to give you a demo of the post-mortem report.
So the post-mortem report is very easy to set up. Just give it a title, and then pick the time of your outage or whatever issues may have occurred. And what this is going to do is bring up the timeline during this period. And you can then go in, add a write-up, so kind of a high-level summary of what steps were taken and what incidents occurred. And then every action, alert, and post in the timeline is going to appear. You can clean it up, so remove unnecessary bits of information, and also add comments. So if this was the start of the outage, you can add a comment here, add the note, and at the end of the day, you can save it, print it out to a PDF, and ship it out as part of an SLA or bring it into a management meeting.
So that's pretty much a walkthrough of the core features and functionality of the VictorOps platform. We're going to stop screen sharing here for a minute. Just bear with us. So we tried a question and answer session online during one of the first Tuesdays at 2s, and it was a technical disaster. So we're not going to attempt that any longer. So if you have questions, please, we encourage you to contact support@victorops.com. And we're always available to assist. We're here 24/7, or if we're not physically here, we're electronically available, if you will.
Thank you guys for joining, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you.